of the Northeast under the direction of their coordinator, Jorge Torres, and their Hoka captains. And we'd like to start first with our Hoka captain. She was 20 in the 2024 World Cross Country Championships, Abby Nichols. And she ran at Notre Dame. She was second in the NC2A 5,000, Katie Wasserman. And now our 10 girls out of the Northeast. Wearing bib number 20, a junior from Conard High School in Connecticut. In 2022, she was the Connecticut Gatorade Player of the Year in track, with her sister Liv qualifying this year. They joined their brother Gavin Cherry as the first 3 siblings to ever qualify for Foot Locker Nationals. This is Tess Cherry. And bib 19, a senior from Hatboro Horsham High School in Pennsylvania. In track, the Pennsylvania State champ at 3,200 meters. This fall, she was the state 3A champion in cross country, Lillian DeCola. Wearing bib 18, a senior out of Hunter College High School in New York. The 2024 Nike Indoor National Champion at 800 and the mile, running 2:06 and 4:43, 8th in the Northeast Regional, Dylan McElhaney. Bib 17, a senior from Northern Burlington High School in New Jersey. It's her second time qualifying for Foot Locker Nationals. This year she won her 3rd consecutive New Jersey State Group 3 championship. This is Lilia Gordon. Wearing bib 16, a junior out of West Windsor, Plainsboro High School in New Jersey. After winning her conference and sectional championships, she went on to finish runner-up in the state meet, 6th in the region, Allison Lee. Bib 15, a junior from Lyme High School in Connecticut. State champion at 3,200 meters on the track last spring. This fall, she won her 3rd straight Connecticut State Division S championship, 5th in the region, Chase Gilbert. Wearing bib number 14, a junior from Conard, Connecticut. She's run 4:49 for the full mile on the track. This fall, she was runner-up in the Connecticut State Cross Country Championship. This is Liv Sherry. Bib 13, a senior from Glastonbury High School in Connecticut. Undefeated this scholastic season, winning both the Connecticut State and New England individual championships. She's run 4:47 for the full mile on the track, 3rd in the regional. This is Brooke Strauss. Wearing bib number 12, a senior from William Floyd High School in New York. She's a 4-time Foot Locker National finalist, having placed 6th, 10th, and 12th. This year, she once again was the New York State Federation champion, 2nd in the Northeast Regional, Zariel Macchia. And wearing bib 11, a junior from Saukett Valley High School in Pennsylvania. Her 2nd year qualifying for Foot Locker Nationals. This year, she not only won the Pennsylvania State 2A cross-country title, but she all ran the fastest time of all divisional champions, our Northeast Regional champion, Virginia Kraus. And now on to our team from the South, under the direction of their coordinator, Larry McAfee, and our Hoka captains. She's now at the University of Oregon, 2 times a Foot Locker National finalist, Samantha Humphreys. And also at the University of Oregon, and also a 2-time Foot Locker National finalist, and also named Humphreys, this is Nicole Humphreys. And now our top 10 girls from the South, wearing bib number 30, a senior from the Webb School in Tennessee. Today she joins a select group of girls who have qualified for the Foot Locker Championships 4 times. She won her 4th straight Tennessee Individual State Cross Country Championship this year. She's run 4:46 for the mile, 10:09 for 2 miles, 16:19 for 5K. Abby Faith Cheeseman. Bib 29, a senior from Colonial Forge High School in Virginia. The Virginia State champion in track at 1,600 meters last spring. This fall, state champion in cross country, 9th in the South Regional, Kate Loescher. Bib 28, a junior from Braswell High School in Texas. This year she won her 2nd consecutive individual state 6A championship in cross country, 8th in the South Regional, Macy Wingard. Bib 27, a junior from the Webb School in Knoxville, Tennessee. State champion in track last year at 3,200 meters. This fall, she was second in the Tennessee State Cross Country Championships, Jaslyn Garmer. 26, junior also from the Webb School of Knoxville in Tennessee. She's already won 5 individual state titles in track. In cross country this year, she was runner-up in the championship race at the Great America Cross Country Festival. This is Carolina Earhart. Wearing bib 25, a senior from North Cross High School in Virginia. This year, she was the Virginia State Cross Country Champion for the 3rd year in a row. She set meet records on 5 different courses, 5th in the South Region, Kerrigan Cheney. And wearing bib 24, a senior from Randolph High School in Texas. In track, the Texas 3A state champion at both 800 and 1600. In cross country, she capped off an undefeated scholastic season by winning her 2nd consecutive Texas 3A individual state title, Sophia Bendet. Bib 23, a junior from Rogers High School in Arkansas. As a sophomore last year, she finished 2nd in the state, both the 16 and 3200 on the track. This fall, she had a margin of more than 80 seconds over 2nd place on her way to winning the Arkansas 6A state championship. This is Lily Beshers. Bib 22, a senior from Carolina Day High School in North Carolina. In track, she repeated as North Carolina state champion at both 16 and 3200. This fall, she won her 3rd straight North Carolina State 3A championship. Caroline Barton. And wearing bib 21, a junior from Champion High School in Texas. She is our defending Foot Locker national champion. She won last year in a time of 16:50. That is the 9th fastest time ever run, 2nd fastest ever by a sophomore. This year she won her 2nd straight Texas 5A cross country championship. She has run 4:42 for 1600, 9:43 for 3200 on the track. Our Foot Locker South champion for the 2nd year in a row, Elizabeth Leachman. And on to our Midwest girls under the direction of their coordinator, Peter Hankus, and their captains. She is a world champion trail runner, and in 2008, a Foot Locker national final. Welcome back, Allie Mack. And now we're in bib 40, a junior from Olentangy Orange High School in Ohio. In the spring, she was the Ohio State champion at 1600 meters on the track. This fall, she was runner-up in the Ohio Division I State Championship. This is Brooke Chapman. Wearing bib 39, a junior from Tuscola High School in Illinois. The Illinois 1A state champion in cross country this year, 9th in the Midwest Regional, Kate Foltz. Bib 38, a senior from Denver East High School in Colorado. Last year, the Colorado 5A state champion at 800 meters on the track. This year, state 5A individual cross country champion, 8th in the regional, Rosie Macharski. Bib 37, a junior from Concordia Lutheran High in Indiana. After winning her sectional and regional championships this season, she went on to become Indiana State cross country champion. This is Mallory Weller. Bib 36, a junior from Century High in North Dakota. Last year, she qualified for Foot Locker Nationals out of the West. Now living in North Dakota, she was not only undefeated all season, but also won the Class A state championship, 6th in the Midwest Regional, Ruby Immels. Wearing bib 35, a junior from Indian Creek High School in Indiana. She placed 19th last year right here. In track, she was runner-up in the Indiana State meet at 3,200 meters, running 10:15, 5th in the region, Libby Dowdy. And bib 34, a junior from Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. This is her 2nd year in the Foot Locker Nationals. She was 22nd here last year. After winning her conference and regional meets this cross-country season, she went on to place third in the Colorado 5A state meet. Emily Cohen. Bib 33, a senior out of Forest Lake High School in Minnesota. The Minnesota Gatorade Player of the Year last year in cross country, and this year she repeated as Minnesota 3A state champion in cross country. This is Nora Hooshagen. Wearing bib 32, a senior out of Shelby High School in Michigan. Already has 2 outstanding races here at Foot Locker. She was 11th and 9th. She also won the Michigan State Division III Individual State Championship for the 2nd time. Runner-up in the Midwest Regional, Jessie Jaswinski. And wearing bib 31, a senior from Midland Dow High School in Michigan. She was 20th last year right here. She capped off an undefeated Scholastic season this fall by winning the Michigan State Division I Cross Country Championship. Then she went on to win our Midwest Regional, Victoria Garces. And now on to our top 10 girls from the West, under the direction of their coordinator, Doug Todd, and their captain. While he was at NAU, they were the national champions 3 times. He set an indoor national record for 5K of 13:16. This is Tyler Day. And wearing bib number 50, she is a senior out of Galena High in Nevada. She qualified for the Foot Locker Nationals last year. She's been the Nevada State 5A champion in cross country twice, 10th this year in the West Regional. This is Eleanor Raker. Wearing bib 49, a senior out of Rancho Cucamonga High School in California. She started her season late due to injury. She's been improving each week, and last Saturday was her best race of the year as she placed 9th in the West Regional. This is Nicole Alfred. And wearing bib 48, a senior from Vista Murrieta High School. She was the Woodbridge Invitational Rated Division champion this year. She placed 4th in the Mount Sac Invitational, 8th in the West Regional. Erica Kirk. And the first of 3 girls from right here in San Diego to make it to the Nationals this year. She's wearing bib 47, a junior from the Bishop School here just up the street in La Jolla. This fall she won the Mount Sac Invitational Sweepstakes Championship. She was the San Diego Division V champion in cross country, 7th in the West Regional. Ayanna Hickey. And bib 46, just a freshman from Mauna Loa High School in Hawaii. In only her first year in high school, she set a new course record to win the Hawaii State Individual Cross Country Championship, 6th in the West Region, Sadie Kruger. And wearing bib 45, another freshman out of Park City High School in Utah. She made it here to the Foot Locker Nationals. She placed 3rd in a very tough Utah 4A state meet. She was 5th in the West Region. This is Tatum Flack. And wearing bib 44, a senior from Olympus High in Utah. She began the cross-country season by winning the championship division in the Border Wars Invitational and ended it by winning the Utah State 5A title, 4th in the West Regional. Adria Favero. And wearing bib 43, a junior from East Lake High School in San Diego, California. Last spring in track, she was the California State champion at 3,200 meters, running 9:57.11. This fall, she was once again the San Diego Section Division I champion in cross country, 3rd in our West Regional. Jalen Williams. And wearing bib 42, a junior from La Jolla High School in San Diego here. This is already her third year at Foot Locker Nationals, having placed 14th as a frosh, 11th as a soft. This year, she not only won the California Division IV Cross Country Championship for the second year in a row, but she also ran the fastest time of all the 5 state division champions. She was second in the West Regional this year, Kiara Daly. And wearing bib 41, a junior from Ballard High School in Washington. She ran 16:43 for 5,000 meters to take first place over an impressive field in the elite division of the Nike Hole in the Wall Invitational in October. Last week, she posted the largest winning margin of any Foot Locker regional winner, 23 seconds. This is our West Regional champion, Cassidy Armstrong.
Our thanks to Tim O'Rourke for that traditional introduction of all the athletes as they get set in position here for this race over 5,000 meters on this rinse and repeat spectacular day in San Diego. Carrie, as you reflect on all the young women that were just introduced, it is always the point to be made in these championship races is that one of these young ladies don't deserve to be here. And when they go to the line, they look left and they look right, and they see people with credentials just as amazing as theirs.
Yeah, and I think that's really the key here is that they're coming from their states where a lot of times they are number one all the time. So when you're surrounded with people that are running as fast as you are, or even that are breathing heavy, which sounds funny sometimes, but you're not used to that noise a lot of times. This is kind of the start of learning how to run in those big packs and being able to control yourself when someone's right on you.
And this is a race for an individual national championship, but we'll also have team scoring for these 4 regions. So you might be cheering for one particular athlete, but also cheer for their region as well. Northeast, the South, the Midwest, and of course, all the way over to the West. And reigning champion in this race, Elizabeth Leachman. A little bit of a story to get her just to the championship season with some injuries and some health issues, but do you think she can defend her title today?
I do. I think when you win here, and she's shown herself in the later stages of her season here, that she's back and she's feeling good. Every week that goes by, she's almost better.
So the final moments of reflection here for these athletes as they get prepared for the racing on this day. Our Gator will be in position here. We'll have live pictures throughout this 5,000 meter championship race. And with the gun, we are underway here in San Diego, California. It is the 45th anniversary of the Foot Locker Cross Country Championships.
And already it's so different here because as we're watching these ladies run up the start of this race, we see all the cameras. There used to only be one camera here basically. Now there's so many people here. And that's what's so exciting about this race, Paul. They are getting a taste of what the future is going to be like. And, going down to the dog park here as we see them crest the hill here at the beginning stages, this is where they start to kind of find that rhythm. But being up front is key on this race.
Up there nearing her 4th appearance here. Obviously got some confidence just because of the familiarity she has on the course, but they squeeze them all together now and they are out on the course where they'll see a bunch of different types of terrain underneath them. There's obviously these wooded areas, there's some grass areas as well. And then what we're all looking forward to is that Hoka Hill, both the going up part and the going down part. Yeah,
Zariel Makia, as you mentioned, she has been here 4 times. She's one of a few, there's only a couple girls on the girls' side, Abby Faith Cheeseman, she's the other one. But Zariel Makia knows different terrain. We have seen this girl run for year after year, not only here, but on the track. She is very solid. But this is something, she's had a chip on her shoulder. She wants this win.
Nora Hushagen is also up near the leaders here as we get into the early going. Everyone in connection with each other, but Makia obviously trying to make a little bit of an insertion of pace here in the early going as they capture their first climb here. And, Zariel, we also should mention, prolific racer. We were talking to her parents yesterday as she was getting her lay of the land on the course. She's also been running all over the globe as she represents
really
Team USA.
She loves to race, and she races a lot. Now, some people might say maybe it's too much, but I think she just finds the excitement of that. She knows all of the athletes that are here. She's really a student of the sport. She's a brilliant girl. She is very smart, heading out to BYU next year. But, I think that what gets her excited is tying up those spikes and getting out there. And you can't tame the beast, right? She wants to get out there and run.
So a little bit of a separation now, it looks like, with about 5 of these girls out ahead of the rest of the field. And we'll get our first split at the half-mile mark with Makia expected to be the leader here. And they'll come through in about the next couple of seconds over that first timing mat, and we'll have a chance to reset the field for you. And indeed, it is Makia coming through the first half mile in 2:38, so swiftly through here. Behind her, a trio from the Midwest with Libby Dowdy, Nora Hushagen, and Ruby Immels. As you look at the rest of the field, as it's about, 3.5 seconds between the top 20 places.
That's how it is here. Everyone gets out. You want to kind of see the position you want to be in at the end. You have to be able to get through these narrow spots, like you said. There will be some changing on the hills, but right here, this is where you want to be thinking about that position you want to end in. But yeah, look at that Midwest team right there. They had the closest spread of all regions. You see that a lot on the Midwest. They come out here and it's beautiful weather. They're taking advantage of it. But Zariel Makia right now just putting the herd on early on.
Yeah, the reigning champion Elizabeth Leachman back in 27th position here in the early going. There is still a lot of connection between these groups, but she's already 4.4 seconds behind the leader Makia, who has definitely decided to make this a race early on. And look at the lead she is now opening up against the rest of the field nearing the 4-minute mark here. As you can see, the elevation gain here with those climbs to come, and the climbs will happen twice in this race, and we'll see if she can sustain this lead as she begins to head out onto the grass and head towards the Hoka Hill.
Well, we have seen it before where someone goes out super hard and that pack works together to close in on it, but Zariel is one you have to respect. She knows how to race. She goes up these hills very powerfully, and she knows how to use her speed. She's very good over the mile distance on up to the 5,000 meter distance. So she's got that speed, but she's also super strong. So, it's not surprising to me, but also a little bit, because she could use that speed on that final downhill and really open up there too.
Keep the camera there so you can see the rest of the field coming through here. Again, 40 girls in this girls race. 40 boys will follow in our race that comes up at 10 a.m. at the local time here in San Diego. But right now, in splendid isolation, is Zariel Makia, as she has the lead here. She won a USATF under 20 road championship at this distance, 5 kilometers on the streets of New York, part of the New York Marathon weekend. So again, prolific racer, and when she comes to the line, she's going to be considered one of the favorites, and right now has really demonstrated her ability to take control of a race here early.
Well, you said it. She won that road race 3 years in a row. I mean, she likes routine. She likes to win.
So she's coming up on this mile mark here, and we'll keep an eye on this mark. Melody Fairchild has the course record, 16:39.8, in which she ran a 5:21 first mile, and look at that time for Makia. She is on course record pace here in the early going, 5:20.6 through the first mile.
Oh, you can see it here, though. That first mile looks swift. It looks good, but this is where everyone starts to kind of crawl back into this race. This hill, lots of athletes visualize it. They dream about it. They want to get back to it. It is hard, but it's something like we have a love-hate relationship with it.
So Makia will have the lead here, but will she have it sustained? She's given up some of that lead in that initial climb, but there's more climbing to come before they reach that downhill on Upus that really is where you have to kind of control your pace, because you're just flying down that hill at a pretty steep grade.
Yeah, well, for the first time we're seeing Victoria Garces, who was the winner of the Midwest. She finished second last weekend in NXN. She's having a really good year. She is also experienced on this course. She finished 20th last year year, and she's just having a fun season, and I love that about the athletes. You could hear the excitement and the thrill of being back here. She wants it really badly. So yes, the girl in second, was 20th last year and having the race and the season of her life.
Garces out of Midland, Michigan, as several of the athletes in this race coming off reasonably tired legs as they're racing, throughout these championship seasons and just trying to have enough in the tank for when it matters most here in San Diego for the championship race. Now look at that stride elongate for Zariel Marquez. She is flying down Upus.
She looks good on that downhill. It almost hurts at times if you don't really extend that stride. It doesn't even give it justice looking at it here. It is a very steep, very fast hill.
Well, then how about it? Then you have to do a 90-degree turn and have to slow yourself almost to a dead stop.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it brings back so many memories of the grit, the grind that this cross-country season in this sport is all about. But again, Zariel could feel the heat, and like I said early on, you don't like that. When you're used to winning, when you're used to being the best in your state, in your region, you don't want to hear people around you. So kind of fun to see Zariel take it out again, but we'll have to see what happens. It's like an accordion.
Yeah, it has really been like that accordion effect here as she gave up almost all of her lead on that steep climb, and now she's got a bit more of that lead reestablished here. She's coming through nearing the halfway mark of our race here for a Foot Locker Championship in 2024, the 45th anniversary of this historic race, but plenty of racing still to unfold as Makia shakes out the arms a little bit and gets into a rhythm here on the flat part of the course.
Yeah, there's a little bit of concern for me right now just watching how she is on the flat. She does really shorten up, chop up her stride, but then now she's getting into it. That downhill does take it out of you, and so for her just to have to regroup a little bit, not surprising as they're going to make their way now around this corner and hear the crowds.
Well, now here comes Garces right up alongside, and guess who is reattached herself to the front of the pack as she is coming here and is going to actually switch sides here. That's the defending champion, Elizabeth Leachman, who is back in it as they've taken everything that Makia could throw at them here in the first half of the race, and now three at the front as they head out on their second lap.
Well, this is going to wake Makia up, but also I think that Leachman has been running a little bit different this year because she's coming in with a little bit different fitness. She has been injured. She then unfortunately got sick. She said every week seems better, but she doesn't know if she's quite the same. I don't know if we need her to be quite the same. We need her to just be strong, and she now is tasting that front part of this race, and you know that gets her excited.
Well, and the strategy here by Makia has just been kind of keeping everybody behind her, but for the first time, she's going to have someone go by her, even if it's ever so slightly here, as Elizabeth Leachman will send them over to the dog park loop for the second time, establishing herself in a position to perhaps defend her Foot Locker title.
Well, Leachman has gone out in races super hard and opened it way up, and people have come back to her. She's sort of learning her lesson as she keeps on going. But, I mean, listen to these PRs that she has. 2:09 for the 800. She's run 4:37, 9:43, and also 15:25. I mean, she is super talented, very gritty, and even maybe a girl that's 90%. That Leachman is a tough athlete to beat.
Lily Bashir's out of the south here coming into frame. Bib number 21, she's back there in fourth position as Victoria Garces is in third with Leachman there. A little bit of dust blown up here by our gator on this very dusty part of the course, and we also mentioned Jessica Jaswinski, who's also in the mix here, trying to factor into the top few places here. But right now, three girls out here in front, and Leachman now asserting herself to the lead.
And let's not forget that there's always a team aspect here too. Right now, it looks like Midwest is leading by quite a bit. They're up in front, and that could be Peter Henkes with the Midwest likes to win this team title, so keep your eye on the team race as well.
Midwest with 27 points through the 1.5 mile portion of the course. South second, Northeast third, and the West is in fourth. Again, they're scoring the top five of each of these regionals athletes. Of course, 10 have got here by virtue of their finishes at the regional event. You see the elevation tracker below you and that looming Hoka Hill that's coming into view, and as well that course tracker as they come over by the tennis courts, and they'll do the surround of the pool. Not necessarily pool weather here. It's been a little bit cooler in the morning here, but perfect racing conditions for these young women.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's what they know. When they come out to San Diego, they pretty much know it's going to be a great way, even if there's a little rain, which barely happens out here. But they are excited for the sun and the fun out here. But you know what Elizabeth Leachman has gone through this year, stress reaction in her femur. She had to take a month off this summer. She also had to take a month off with an upper respiratory type illness. She said she couldn't even really explain it. Her heart rate has been elevated pretty much all season. So just kind of fighting something different, but she's kept her head in it. You know, she's a girl that likes to train 10 to 12 hours a week on the machines, cross training, in the pool. She's just tough, and she gets it. She really loves this sport, and she gets it. So she's really opening it up here and making a push here coming into the Hoka Hill.
Yeah, so Leachman coming back to where they start the race and finish the race. Good crowd here, about 4 deep on both sides as they welcome the top athletes into the field as they send them out for that final charge up the Hoka Hill. It's Leachman with the lead at 2 miles of about 2.5 seconds over Garces, and then Makia 3.8 seconds behind the leader Leachman, followed by Dowdy, Beshears, Ruby Immels in 6th position, Virginia Kraus, Jalen Williams, and Nora Hushhagen with Sophia Bendit also out of the South, rounding out that top 10.
Yeah, it's getting exciting now. I want to just mention a little bit more about Garces in second there. Victoria's had an awesome year. She was undefeated up until the post-race, NXRs, NXN, those types of things. But she is the only female in this race that won both NXR and Foot Locker regionals. She's a very versatile runner. She is so good in all conditions, and she is having a solid race here. She's keeping the pressure on. You know, Leachman knows she's still there.
Well, the one equalizer here that's coming up is that climb up the Hoka Hill. We saw that with Makia on the first time around where she gave up almost all of her lead here, but Leachman, familiar with this point on the race course, which she traversed successfully on her way to her first title a year ago, and doesn't really have to worry necessarily about Garces at this point, who is still about, 3 seconds behind her.
But that hill, you just never know what can happen, both on the up and the down. I mean, in the past, people have made some major moves, and also it's bitten them a little bit in the butt on the way down. So, you know, Leachman knows this, though, and so does Garces. We can't forget that she was here last year as well.
So Leachman now going to make another twist and turn, some really good kind of opportunities on the course to maybe even look over his shoulder and gauge where you are relative to the other racers right now. But I think that lead has grown just ever so slightly for Leachman as she's going to come up to the 2.5 mile split here momentarily, probably just after 14 minutes elapsed on the clock. There you see it, 2.5 miles at 14:02.3, and that is under course record pace. So Leachman, who was 27th on the first half mile, just steadily moved up, has now taken the lead, and now is going to attack this climb with Garces in second and Makia now 15, almost 16 seconds back of the leader Leachman.
Wow, well, Leachman said yesterday, or 2 days ago actually, she said she feels a bit fresh. Even after she's now run these hard races at the later part of her season, she still feels fresh mentally and physically, and that is scary when you have an athlete that you know has had a long season with injuries, with illness. To be fresh here, whew, look out, she's running that way.
And she makes the last turn up Hoka Hill.
So Leachman now climbing that hill, and we'll see what happens here over the course of the final stretch of this race up at the topmost point of the course before she descends down Opus. As you can see in the background, Garces, but not gaining any ground, and this would be the point of the race that if Garces is going to commit, she's got to fly down this hill and try to get back in contact.
Well, what I like there is that Leachman did not take a look back. She feels good. She's all focused on what's ahead, and she is kind of navigating these ups and downs on the top of the hill. She's getting ready to get down that hill, which hurts, as I said. But Leachman said, Foot Locker is such a cool event. She loves it. She gets so inspired being here, and here she comes.
At a champion high in Texas,
So Leachman out of Texas, now just kind of keeping those arms out, making sure that every step is the right step, because there's a lot that can go wrong as you're flying down this hill for the final time.
Yeah, for sure. Staying in control, making sure that you just get down this hill, make this hard turn. And this is really where everyone, about 600 meters to go, everyone starts to think about getting to that tape. They got to still navigate. There's a bit of a climb when they get in front of all of us here in the finishing stretch. But right now, this is where you want to let loose, believe in yourself, and get going.
So it looks like Melly Fairchild's record's going to stand for another year. Is it 16:04.16 was her split at the full 3 miles, but still Leachman, no one to be seen behind her. That lead ahead of Victoria Garces continues to extend itself now into the final stretches of the race.
Wow, going back-to-back wins here. That's rare company, and she is such a stud. Leachman is so excited about this sport, and we are all so excited for her to be able to navigate through the ups and downs of what this sport throws at us. You know, she's grown a lot in this last year.
So Elizabeth Leachman comes through the 3 mile mark in 16:49.8 and is well on her way to close here. A little bit of a hill you got to crest before you see the finish line in the distance, but she is now welcomed warmly by the crowd here assembled near the start and what is also the finish line stretch here in San Diego at Balboa Park. It was a different kind of season for Elizabeth Leachman, delayed getting herself into championship form, but when the championship mattered and the opportunity to defend mattered, she came to San Diego and delivers a back-to-back Foot Locker National Championship victory. As the race now for second, Victoria Garces will come through as the second place finisher, and then the battle between Zariel Macchia and Ruby Immels, and Macchia will hold on for third, and Immels will finish fourth. There is Libby Dowdy out of the Midwest coming through in fifth, but Elizabeth Leachman left it all out on the course here as she gets herself into recovery mode here, and the rest of the field starts to descend across the finish line. Kerrigan Cheney in sixth, Lily Beshears in seventh, Virginia Krause in eighth, Jalen Williams in ninth, and Macy Wingard will finish in 10th. Right now, the South looks like they may come through with another Foot Locker team title by just a point. They have 35 points in the team battle. The Midwest with 36, the Northeast with 70, and waiting for the fifth runner to come across for the West region. But what a day for Elizabeth Leachman, as she just had a patient and deliberate race strategy today. Did not get fazed by when Zariel Macchia went out to the early lead. In fact, Leachman was 27th after the first half mile, but just continued to work herself up on the course. And when she needed to be at the front, she was there at the finish line as she takes her second consecutive Foot Locker national title.
So you have to wait till everybody has their top 5 finishers cross the line. We haven't had that yet, but right now we've got the South at 35, the Midwest at 36.
So waiting for all the finishers here to come across the line in case you hadn't had an opportunity to see the athlete you tuned in for. Every one of these 40 athletes that reached this Foot Locker National Championship deserving of congratulations and praise, and Elizabeth Leachman will take a second consecutive Foot Locker National Championship here. And South does appear to have the team competition wrapped up here, finishing with 35 points. The Midwest with 36. Still with a couple of more athletes out on the course. And as we have a chance to look back on the race again, Zariel Macchia with a very confident approach to the start of her fourth appearance here at Foot Locker, as she got herself out to the lead, took the first mile of this race faster than anyone has run the first mile of the race. And you can see that lead that she opened up until the hills and then recaptured that lead when she went down the first descent of Upus. There you see there in the lower part of your screen. But over the course of that next stretch of the race, the next mile or so, Elizabeth Leachman came back and took control, and then only Victoria Garces had a chance to stay within a few seconds of Leachman. But once they got to the second trip up the hill and the descent, Elizabeth Leachman was in absolute control of this race in San Diego and crosses the line as the two-time Foot Locker national champion. 17:31 her winning time as she beats Victoria Garces by 9.1 seconds. Makia again finishing in third. As our final racer gets across the line, and we'll get some well-needed aid from the support staff here. Great group of medical professionals here already to rush to an athlete's aid if needed on this final day of this cross-country season. Let's head down to Cary to hear from our champion.
Fourth time here and the best finish of all time for you. What are your thoughts right now?
Oh, I mean, I'm so happy. I mean, Foot Locker means the world to me, and I just want to come out here and show that in my race and really run it how I wanted right off the gun. And yeah, third place is amazing, so I'm really, really happy with that.
We are so proud of you. Congratulations on a great career here. Victoria, last year 20th, this year second.
I guess I just have a thing with two. Like, this is my second year, went 20th and second. So it's just an absolute honor to be here. I'm so grateful for Foot Locker for putting on this amazing event, and it's just so much fun to race with these amazing girls. And I'm just so excited to come in second and be standing next to these two amazing girls.
You had a phenomenal race. All right, Elizabeth Leachman, our champion, 2 years in a row. What's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, I'm super excited here. I knew this was going to be a tough field. So to come out with the win is just better than I could have hoped for, and it's amazing.
So this year, the first lap, you were kind of back in the pack, and then you slowly got into it. Tell us about your race a little bit.
Yeah, I think the focus was really just to have something the second lap. I know this is a really tough and kind of unforgiving course, and that contrary to what feels natural to me, when you're up a stacked field, the racing from the front isn't always the best strategy. So just to try to have something the second lap so that I could make it up and down that big hill again.
You have had an up and down year. You've had injury, you've had illness. How have you kept your mind in it, and how have you gotten your body back?
Yeah, it's definitely been hard not knowing where I stand week to week. But just remembering, I guess, my freshman self and the opportunities that I didn't have that year, and just keeping myself grounded, remembering that I'm still super blessed to get to be a part of all these amazing things.
Well, congratulations to our top three here on the girls' side.
So Elizabeth Leachman defends her 2023 Foot Locker title with a win here over Victoria Garces and Zariel Makia. That's your podium here for the Girls Championship race. Another spectacular Foot Locker Championship run for the top girls in the nation, but we're only halfway home. It'll be the boys coming up here shortly as they will race the same 5,000 meter distance for a national title, and we'll have more and introduce those athletes to the field of play when we come back. You're watching live coverage of the 45th anniversary of Foot Locker.